Good morning from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's American Bob, who feels just awful today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got muscle aches, joint aches, headaches, neck aches, feet ache, this ache, and I'm tired. But I have to make this vlog. You know, as we go through our childhood and we have parents, and I don't know how you were raised. You know, I was raised with a dad. I've told you about him. His daddy died in a horse and carriage. Um, my dad was much older than my mom. I mean, he was like in his 60s when he married my mom, and she was in her like latter 30s maybe, which is not unusual. You know, women like older men. Now, it comes down to the fact that my dad's father got killed when he had a spirited horse that he just bought on his carriage, and it flipped, and he hit his head really hard. It must have been very bad. Okay, back then, women didn't work. No women worked. So she had to do something to do it fast. So she married a Methodist preacher. The Methodist preacher was a stern man. He believed that children are to be seen and not heard. Period. You never walked up to an adult and said, "Can I get this?" It didn't work that way. The children never ate at the dining room table. They always ate at their own table to be stone quiet and never say anything during while they're eating. They never ate at the adult's table. Now, you may think this is cruel, but this is the way it was. This is the way my dad was brought up. Now, my father got my mother pregnant out of wedlock. Back then, you had to get married, so he married her. Okay, most of you already know that I have a learning disability because I got hit over the head pretty hard when I was a kid, and it caused some brain damage and caused me to have learning disabilities. But I learned to move around those learning disabilities and do reasonably well at Hargrave Military Academy. Now, my dad was a miserable man. He didn't want to marry my mother, and that was that. To be honest with you, he really didn't want to move to the South. He lived in Vermont. He didn't want to live in the South. Now, the whole thing is that my dad made my sister's life miserable. But my sister was 6 years older than me, and she left. My dad, knowing that I was a retard, I was basically retarded. In essence, I was. You know, retardation doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't necessarily mean that. It means the fact that you're a moron. You're stupid. You're ignorant. You can't learn anything. So my dad put a lot on me. I mean, a lot on me. And he did. And he was awful, terrible, horrible man. So I was sent to Hargrave Military Academy in Chandler, Virginia. My mother worked at Central Piedmont Community College teaching classes in the morning and at night, sacrificing herself to get me out of that house, get me away from my father. Now, did it damage me? I'm going to ask you, did your childhood damage you? Mine did. It took me 10 years of therapy, and like I said, have I ever been a success in life? I don't know. What the heck is a success in life? $1 billion? $1 million? $500,000? $25,000? $10,000? What is a success? But in society, when you're in elementary school, you're having to be this and be that. If you're that girl that just didn't wear that pretty dress, instead you're wearing a hand-me-down or got it from a thrift store, what happened to you? Yeah. And it is appearance that we live our life. It's appearance, and it is. Now, for me, my life is slipping away from me. This is the reason why I'm making these vlogs now. Because I feel like I don't have that many more years left to live. It comes down to the fact that you're a damaged human being. I don't know what damaged you. Your parents? A girlfriend? A boyfriend? An ailment? What damaged you? Because apparently you are damaged, so, you need to figure it out. For me, I feel terrible and awful today. I can't tell you how hard it is to make it through this vlog. But being damaged is not the end of the road. That girl that was molested when she was 14, 13. She can't get married because every time her husband or boyfriend touches her, it brings her back to that time when she was damaged because she was abused. As an old man with a lot of experience, and I've been through a lot of different things, always remember one thing. You might be a damaged human being, but you're walking on the face of the earth. And it's up to you to decide not to be damaged anymore. Now, for me, like I said, I look at myself and go, well, it's about time for me to start planning things. I need to plan my memorial service. I need to plan this and plan that because I give myself 4 or 5 more years left to live. But for you, what I want you to do is to begin to start to research ways of helping yourself. What helped me was quite a few different things. I told you that I was a singer. I was a very, very good tenor singer. But yet I didn't have that. What do you want to say? I'm trying to get through this, my mind. I'm so tired, guys. I got to lay back down. I didn't feel that I was good enough because that's my daddy in my ear. You're not good enough to be a singer. There's somebody out there that can sing better than you. Yeah. But I was fortunate that I had Robert Stegall and Ann over at Myers Park Presbyterian Church here in Charlotte that helped me work through that so that I could be a tenor soloist. Now, I made a vlog saying that I've lived my life as a failure, but what is a failure in life? What is a failure in life? Why is it I was never ever able to sustain a relationship with a woman? Now, guys, like I said, I'm not doing well physically. I can't do any caffeine because of my heart. I'm scared now because it's ridiculous for me to be putting a lot of caffeine into my body. But if you're a damaged human being, let me give you some ideas. One is a therapist. But before you go see a therapist, learn modalities. That means learn what she's using to help you, or he for that matter. I'm a female person. I like female therapist. But yeah, it could be a he. A therapist is trained, a licensed clinical social worker is trained to help you, to help yourself, to learn to grow as a human being. So I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog to say I'm not doing well today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really don't have a clue what's wrong with me. But I'm not kidding you. I'm going to ask my buddy Eddie. He's going to have his phone. He's going to record my memorial service. And it's just going to be a simple one. People dropping in that maybe used to know me, or maybe, I figure probably 4 or 5 people will show up for my memorial, and that's okay. But guys, let me try to tell you this. I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. If you're right now on a cheap phone, let me show you my cheap phone. Here it is. If you're on a cheap, crappy phone, this phone's probably about a $25 phone. If you're homeless, living on the street, panhandling, and when I say eating out of dumpsters, people think, ugh, that's not as bad as you think it is. These guys are pretty smart. What they do is they go to restaurants and wait till they throw their food in the dumpster. They eat it. That's not bad. The homeless people out there will always be there. There's always people homeless, and they see themselves as a downtrodden in society. But I've made this comment on all my vlogs, and I'll continue to make this comment. We're all human beings. And we are. And when you start seeing other people as human beings is when things change in your life. You get away from your bigotry and your hatred and your racial slurs. And you begin to see everybody as a beautiful human being. People that are interesting to talk to. If you go up to a person that looks like a threat and you just smile and say, "How are you today?" half the time nobody even talks to the guy. So I'm going to end this vlog because I'm not doing well physically at all today. I don't know what's wrong with me, and I don't have a clue what's wrong with me. But it does come down to the fact that if you're a damaged human being, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be damaged anymore. Thanks for listening. I hope this makes sense because I am not feeling well at all. I feel awful today. I don't know what's wrong today. And I'm a 70-year-old man, now maybe with a heart issue, on top of that feeling like crap with no heating and air conditioning at all today, period. I don't have any. Thanks for listening. I'm going to review this vlog because I don't think it makes any sense. But if it does, realize that all of us are on the face of the planet. Donald Trump, Putin, all the rest of these guys. And I still don't understand why Donald Trump can't go over to Iran and fight this guy. Come on, Donald, just get there and fight him. Why are you sending troops and stuff? Why don't the dignitaries train to learn how to fight? Get in a ring and people stand around, watch them fight. And who wins? That's the country that wins. Thanks for listening, guys. Peace.